Hi everyone, I'm Gayle and welcome to this practice. I'm so glad you're here. This practice is themed on the idea of be here now. So be in the moment, be present, be mindful, be curious, be courageous, be anything that you want to be so that you can really fully express yourself as we move from pose to pose, moving with our breath. And if you like to, it's always nice to have a block handy. We're going to be coming in and out of half moon a lot. So it could be nice to have a block handy for that, but not necessary. So let's start by closing our eyes and tapping into the energy of the breath, the rise and the fall. So that every inhale you get a little bigger inside. And every exhale you relax and release and let go. Letting go of even things that you think you might want to hold on to. Like the breath is life. Why wouldn't we want to hold on to life? But if we're always just seeking security and familiarity, then we don't have the excitement and the growth that we could have if we take a few more chances. Well, let's come onto our hands and knees in tabletop and begin to move our spine. So first you can just start moving your spine in spontaneous directions. Move the shoulders, the ribs, the hips. And we'll start to move our spine in a more rhythmic way. So on your inhale, start to lift the tailbone up, sink the belly down, pull the chest forward, lift the chin up. And then the exhale, start to curl your chin under, rounding up through your back, and finally rounding down into your hips. And just repeat those movements. So it feels like this rippling wave-like effect, wave-like energy. And you can play with it in different ways. So this is just one way to do it. Another way is to start by arching your back, lifting the tailbone up and chest forward, finding an arch. And then from the tailbone, start to round, finding it like a dome shape. Just go back and forth. And come to neutral and start to wave your ribs from side to side. Back to center and just floss your shoulders. So keep the elbows straight, lift and lower your chest toward the floor. And tuck your toes and lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. And you can bend and straighten one knee or both knees at a time. Gripping with your hands and finding a lift through your belly and reaching down through your heels, whether they touch the ground or not. It's more desirable to have a long, straight back than to lock your legs and round your back. But you can go back and forth between those two. On your next inhale, round forward into plank. And on your exhale, bend your knees, lift your hips up and back, down dog. Just follow that motion. And lower your knees to the floor. Bring your right hand out to the right a little bit. Point your right toes and spread your toes as much as you can. Push your toes energetically into the floor. And stretch your left leg back and reach your left arm up and over, lifting up through your ribs. On your next inhale, reach your arm and leg up and even look at your leg. Make sure it's not way behind you or way forward. See if you can find a nice line from your hips to your foot. And lower down again and reach. And lift up again. Maybe lift your leg a little higher, putting a little more energy into that. And lower down. And lift. And lower. Come on back down onto your hands and knees. And start to open your left knee out to the side. And see if you can make your knee and your foot about the same height. And then shift your weight a little bit more to the left. And notice how that forces you to use your muscles a little bit more to engage. And lower your knee down and lift it up. And lower and lift. We'll just keep this going for a little while, trying to build up a little fire in our glutes. Breathing smoothly. And then hold up and just do little pulses upward. Notice how that feels. I'm feeling it in both legs. Good. Lower your leg down and maybe just circle your hips in both directions. We'll do the same thing on the left side. So bring the left hand out to the side a little bit. Spread the left toes, press them into the earth. Stretch your right toes back, and you can decide how far out you want your left hand for support. Reach your right arm up and over, lifting up through your ribs. And lift your arm and leg up. Again, check out your leg. Make sure it's not too far forward or too far back. And lower down. Inhale, lift up. Maybe lift your leg a little higher. And lower down. One more time. Inhale, lift up. And lower down. Now we'll bring our right knee out to the side. And lift and lower. Make the effort to bring your knee up a little bit higher than might be comfortable. And notice the muscles that start working, get turned on. Then hold your knee up and little pulses upward. Try and lean a little bit towards the right, which will make it harder. Good. Lower your knee down, tuck your toes, and stretch back into your down dog. Lower your knees back down to the ground. Bring your right head out to the side again. Reach your left toes back and then press your hips forward. Lower your hand down, pick your left knee up, cross your foot in front of the right knee and sit back between your heels. Gomukhasana. Then you can reach your right arm over to the left and your left arm back over to the right. Come back through center. See if you can kind of stand up on your knees, maybe tuck the tailbone down a little bit. Reach your arms up. And then just take your left foot and step it forward, coming into a lunge. Lower your hands down, stretch your knee forward past your toes. And sink into that right hip a little bit. Shift your weight back into a runner's lunge. And wiggle your hips from side to side. And bring your left foot over toward the right, lowering your left knee forward, maybe sliding your right leg back a little bit, and do some pigeon waves. And come back into your tabletop. So now stretch your right leg back, reach your right arm up, press your hips forward, and then bring your right hand down, pull your right knee forward, cross your right foot in front of the left foot, spread your heels apart and either sit down. You could sit on a block or a pillow or sit to the floor or even have your knees further apart. And first just glide from side to side. And come back up onto your knees. Again, see if you can tuck the tailbone under a little bit and step your right foot forward. Bring your hands down and glide your knee past your toes. And stretch back into runner's lunge with the leg straight or straightish. And bring your right foot over toward the left. Bring your right knee forward. coming into pigeon pose. And come back into your tabletop and do a few more cat-cows. Now lift your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the right leg up. And pull your knee into your chest and step your knee all the way forward into pigeon prep. We'll do some pigeon waves. Bowing and lifting, maybe point your back toes. And then you can just lower down, resting your forehead on your hands or on a block or a pillow. Adjust your weight between both hips evenly. So the tendency could be to sink into the right hip. And see if you can center your weight and even shift it a little bit toward the left. And you can come in and out of that. Now, we're going to try and stretch our right leg out to the left. So just take a little bit of weight off your leg and slide your right leg across. You might want to stay up higher, you might want to be on a pillow, or you might be able to turn your head to the right and rest your upper body on the floor. We'll take a few breaths here. Now walk your hands up, whether you're still in pigeon or you've extended your leg, and just roll your hips open so your legs are spread apart, not as far as they can go, just in an easy shape, and start to walk forward, bowing in between your legs. You can do little cat-cows here. And walk your hands back, and we'll twist back into our pigeon. So just slide back into your pigeon. And just gently rock from side to side. Tuck your back toes and step back into your down dog. So inhale, reach the left leg up. Exhale, hug your knee into your chest, step your foot as far forward as you can, and begin your pigeon waves back and forth. And then you can rest lower to the ground. Maybe resting your forehead on the back of your hands with your elbows out to the side. Or you could be a little higher if this is too uncomfortable. Now you can stay in your pigeon, or you can just shift your weight off your left hip and straighten your left leg over to the right, turning your head to the left. And just sinking your chest toward the floor. So your left foot is reaching over to the right. Your right foot is reaching toward the bottom of the mat. We'll stay here for a few breaths. And you can walk your hands back and roll towards your back leg and bow forward over your legs. And come on back up, turn to your left, pull the left knee across again, coming back to your pigeon and back to downward facing dog. So inhale, reach your right leg up. We're going to come into our first half moon and step your right foot forward. Bring your hand to the outside of your leg on the floor or a block. Stack your hips, engage your glutes, open up across the shoulders, reach that top leg up, maybe gaze up toward the sky. Now lower the left hand down, bend your knee and bring your left knee behind your right heel, spinning on your feet a little bit, sit down in between your legs and twist over to your right. Inhale back through center and twist to the left. Inhale back through center, twist to the right again. And this time we're going to peel our way up into half moon. So as you twist to the left, start to bring your right hand forward, pivoting on your right foot, and open up. Half moon. Nice. Lower your left hand down and step back into your down dog. Just notice how you're feeling. Notice how things are warming up. Notice if you feel your mind wandering at all, because for some of these little more challenging poses, it almost forces us to stay present in the moment. So inhale, reach your left leg up. Exhale, step it forward into your half moon. Rise up, open up. Really engage that left glute, especially reach back through your right toes, open up across your chest. And bring your right hand down, bend your right knee, bend your left knee, bring your right knee to the outside of your left foot, sit in between your legs and twist to your left. Inhale back to center and twist to the right. Inhale back to center, twist to the left. And this time we're going to twist and come right back into our half moon. Open up. And reach high toward the sky. And lower your top hand down. Step back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the right leg up. Exhale, step it forward. Rotate the back, heel down, just turning your toes out slightly. We're going to come into warrior one. And press into both feet. Inhale, rise up. Really reach down through the back heel as you drive your right knee forward. And pay attention to your hips and the direction of your toes. So you could, if it bothers your knee, you can always turn your hips a little bit to the left, lining up with your toes. And turn the upper body so your shoulders are facing forward. Or you could try pushing, bringing that left hip forward just a little bit. Then open up into warrior two. Reach back, reverse your warrior. Straighten your front leg here, parallel your feet, and come into a wide-legged forward fold. And start to shift your hips from side to side. Now we're going to pivot both feet. So we're going to come into warrior one, facing the back of the mat. So both feet are pivoting. And rise up. Again, notice your hips. Just play with squaring your hips and rooting down through the back heel. Open up and lift. Then open up into your warrior two. Reach back, reverse your warrior. Straighten your front leg, parallel your feet, coming back into your forward fold. And shift from side to side. And then we'll pivot both feet, coming back into warrior one. Open up. Try not to let the back arch collapse. And make sure there's no torquing of your knee. Again, you can always turn your hips a little bit to the left. But just listen to your body and be really present in the moment. Good. Lower your hands down. Now press into the earth. See if you can pick your right foot up and stretch it back into down dog splits. And back to downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the left leg up. Reach up through the inner thigh. So you're doing a little bit of an internal rotation. And then hug your knee into your chest and step your foot forward to your hands. Rotate the back toes out slightly. Press into your feet, rise up, warrior one. Reach your arms up, heart forward, and then play with that little bit of hip rotation, forward and out to the side a little bit. Puff up through your heart, lift the back heel up and spin open into warrior two. Reach back, reverse your warrior. Straighten your front leg, parallel your feet, coming into wide-legged forward fold and shift your hips from side to side. And you can go as deep as you want. Come back to center, and we're going to pivot both feet, coming into warrior one, facing the back of your mat. Again, pay attention to your heel, to your knee, really to how your whole body lines up so that it can support you. Open up. Then open back up into warrior two, facing the back of your mat. Reach up and back, reverse your warrior. Straighten your right leg, parallel your feet. Come back to your forward fold. Nice, come back to center, pivot your feet again, coming into that warrior one. So you don't want your toes too far turned out. And you can play with the alignment of your front foot to your back foot. Really press into your back heel, drive your front knee forward. Play with the hips. Maybe the hips need to open a little bit and the upper body faces the front. Reach up and back. And reach forward, lower your hands down. Come up onto your back toes, push into the ground, and see if you can pick your left foot up and slide it back into down dog splits. And back to downward facing dog. Now we're going to put more of those movements together. So inhale, reach your right leg up. Step forward into pigeon. Find your pigeon waves. Maybe point your left toes. Maybe slow it down a little bit so you can find the fullness of your pigeon prep. And then come forward, lowering down closer to the floor. You decide how close you want to go. And play with shifting your weight from hip to hip or finding that spot right in between your two hips. Relax your shoulders. Now you can stay in pigeon, or you can lift some weight off your right hip, straighten your right leg out to the left, turn your head to the right, and find your way into this twist. You can move around a little bit. Just a few more breaths here. And walk your hands back, and we're going to twist. So we're facing in between our legs and bow forward between your legs. And you can shift your hips a little bit from side to side. Any kind of movement here, little mini pelvic tilts, even little cat-cow actions if you want. Just being present in the moment, being mindful. Just a few more breaths here. And walk your hands back. Now this time we're going to pick the right foot up and bring it across to the outside of the left leg. Shift your weight into your left hip, bend the left knee, and sit back in between your feet with the right knee lifted. And then we'll twist to the right. Come back through center and twist to the left. Come back through center, twist to the right. And twist to the left one more time. Twisting to the right. Now this time when we twist to the left, we're going to spin around and come into half moon at the back of our mat. So just take your time. Remember, we're going to spin on both feet. So you reach your arms out to the side, lean forward. Come on up, pivot your feet. Open up, half moon. Reach back through your toes. Lift up like from your hip joint. And lower your hand down and walk your hands forward so you're coming into down dog splits. And I will do that same flow on the other side. So pull the left knee in and forward, coming into your pigeon prep, and find those pigeon waves. And lower down into pigeon with your belly close to your legs. Any height that feels good for you. And just sink in here for a breath or two. Now you're welcome to stay here or lift the weight off your left hip. Straighten your left leg over to the right. Turn your head to the left and sink down here. A nice, pretty big twist. It's kind of unusual. We do this same twist on our back, but it feels really different if your back is on the floor or if your belly is on the floor. Now you can walk your hands back and spin open and bow forward between your legs. Maybe a little movement here of your choice. Now walk your hands back, pick your left foot up, cross it to the outside of your right leg, bend your right knee, sit in between your heels, and twist to your left. Think of spiraling from your sit bones all the way up through the crown of your head. Inhale back to center and twist to the right. Inhale, twist to the left, exhaling. And twist to the right. So one more time, twisting to the left. And this time we're going to twist up and open into our half moon pose. Balancing on our left leg, open up. You really have to engage your glutes a lot to not let your left knee twist to the right. So you want your left knee facing forward, open up through the hips. Reach up through your fingertips. Then lower your right hand down, walk forward into down dog splits. And we'll repeat that again. So bring the right knee forward, coming into pigeon. Find a few pigeon waves here. And lower down to the ground. As low as you want to go. Take a few breaths here. And stay here or lift your hips up a little bit. Slide your right leg across. Turn your head to the left. Feel how the inner thighs are gravitating towards each other. We can use that energy in lots of different poses, like particularly half moon, to help find our balance and stability. Now walk your hands up and spin open between your legs. Walk forward. A little movement here. And walk your hands back. Pick your right leg up, cross it to the outside of your left leg, bend your left knee, and twist to your right. Inhale through center, exhale, twist to the left. We'll do that a few more times, back and forth. Think of rising up from your sit bones. So you're not slouching down, but you're lifting up to find that space in your spine to move. And this time when we twist, we're going to twist and revolve up into our half moon. So see if you can make it one nice smooth motion And then really find your height, find your joy, find your like fullness of this expression of this pose. Nice, lower your top hand down and walk forward into down dog splits with the left leg up. And pull the left knee all the way forward, finding your pigeon and your pigeon waves. And lower down. Take a few breaths here. Make any little adjustments that you like. And either stay in your pigeon or lift your hips up slightly. Stretch the left leg over to the right. Turn your head over to the left. And sink down. You can still be actively stretching out through both legs. Then whether you're in pigeon or in this bridges cross, come on up and spin open to your right, bowing in between your legs. A few more breaths here. You could point or flex your feet. You could spread the toes. You could wiggle the toes around. And walk back up. Cross your left leg to the outside of the right leg. Bending your knees, sitting in between your legs, and twist to your left. Spiraling around. Inhale back through center and twist to the right. And go back and forth, left and right. Just a few more times. Keeping that upward lift. Feeling that spiraling action. And this time when we twist to the right, we're going to unravel and make our way up into our half moon. You can adjust your left hand for support. And then just start to like unfold and get a little fuller, like you're just growing, expanding, experimenting, noticing. Nice, bring the right hand down, walk forward into down dog splits. We'll do that sequence one more time, but moving through it a little more quickly. And if it's like too quick for you, you can always slow it down. So pull your right knee forward and step forward into your pigeon prep. And do a few pigeon waves. And bow forward, sinking down. But notice the weight between your hips. Either stay here in pigeon or slide your right leg over to the left and turn your head to the right. Reach out between both legs. Now come on up, spin around, and reach forward between your legs. Maybe a little like swinging motion here. And walk your hands back, pick your right leg up, cross it over to the left side, bending your left knee, and twist to your left. Come back through center and twist to the right. Come back through center, twisting to the left again. And twist back to the right. One more time, twist to the left. And twist to the right. And we're going to unravel as we twist to the left, just picking up, spinning around, and finding your half moon. Open up. Nice. Lower the left hand down, walk your hands forward into down dog splits. And pull your left knee forward. Bring it all the way forward. Stretch the right leg back. Pigeon waves. And lower down. Rest here for a few breaths. And stay here or pick your weight up off your hip and straighten your left leg over to the right, turning your head to the left, reaching out through your right toes and across through your left toes. You can adjust your elbows. And come on back up, pivoting so that you can bow forward between your legs. And any kind of movement you want to play with here. I'm going to walk your hands back, pick your left leg up, cross it to the outside of the right leg, bend your right knee, and twist to your left. Inhale back to center and spiral to the right. Inhale back to center, spiral to the left. Inhale back to center, spiral to the right. And twist over to your left. Twist back to the right. And twist to the left. And this time we're going to spiral open into our half moon. Open up. Engage to expand. So you get lighter and more buoyant, more full. And lower your right hand down, walk your hands forward into down dog splits. And step back into downward facing dog. Walk your feet forward and come on into a squat. Press out through your elbows, reach forward through your heart, lengthen your spine. Then lower your hips down. Stretch your legs forward and slowly lower down onto your back. And your back is finally on the floor. Hug your knees into your chest. Circle your ankles. And pull your right knee into your chest. Stretch the left leg out. And bring your right foot over to the left a little bit so your right knee goes out to the side. And can you see how this is similar to pigeon if we were on our belly? And then from here, you're just going to open your right arm out to the side and stretch your right leg across, turning your head to the left. So this is like what we did on our belly, but we're on our backs now. So it feels quite different, but there's some similarities. So just notice what you feel. You can stretch out through your left toes, stretch out through the right toes, and turn your head, your upper body to the right. Just a few more breaths here. You can roll back onto your back, bend your knee again, coming back into that pigeon shape on your back, and then into a half happy baby. Release your foot, straighten your leg, and slowly lower down. Now pull your left knee in, drawing your knee towards your armpit, and bring your foot across, holding your foot, finding that pigeon-like shape on your back. And holding your left foot with your right hand, open your left arm out to the side and bring your left leg over to the right. You can wiggle your hips around, turn your head, your upper body to the left. Again, reach out through the right toes and cross through the left foot. And just relax here. And just a few more breaths here. You can roll back onto your back, coming into that, well, really it's a baby cradle, but it's kind of like a pigeon on your back. And come into a half happy baby. And straighten your leg and slowly lower your leg all the way down. And bend your knees, hug your knees into your chest. Circle your ankles in both directions and point and flex back and forth. You can evert and invert. And just stretch out for a little mini savasana. Just let everything relax. You probably feel pretty relaxed now after all that movement. Focus on your exhales and letting go. You can stay here as long as you want. If you're ready to come out, you can stretch your arms over your head. And bend your knees, and you can rock up or roll up to a comfortable seat. Maybe let out a big sigh. And notice how you feel now. After being present in the moment and going through all these transitions and poses and sequencing and breath work and just keeping your mind focused, notice how you feel. Please bring your hands together in front of your heart. Namaste. Again, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time. I hope that you feel like energized and just fully alive. I would love it if you'd leave a comment, share this with your friends, and hope to see you again soon. Bye.